In the basketball community, one thing we love to do as fans is take an NBA legend from a previous era and put them in a time machine, bringing a particular all-time great to the modern game that we see today. But as we get deeper and deeper into the three-point revolution, it becomes tough to imagine certain players from the past who never had elite shooting touch thriving in today's spaced-out game. One of the players who gets most penalized for this dramatic change is NBA Hall of Famer and five-time champion Dennis Rodman. The Worm was obviously known for his defense and rebounding above all else, but he was underrated in terms of his IQ and passing ability. However, one thing that's unfortunately undeniable is the fact that Rodman was not known to be a shooter or a bucket getter. In fact, in his entire 14-year career, he scored 20 points or more in only 16 games, which is less than 2% of his entire NBA career. Now, two guys who were coming up as Rodman was wrapping up his career, 2000s legends Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, had a fierce debate over whether Rodzilla could indeed flourish in the volume three-point shooting nature of today's NBA. Take a listen.
Would Rodman be as effective in this era as he was back in the 90s?
What? Dennis Rodman? Before y'all go, let me throw this out here. So early on, Dennis Rodman, with no hand check and with hand check, had the agility to move with any point guard in the 90s. I'm talking Isaiah, I'm talking Dumars, I'm talking your favorite guard, I'm talking Mark Price, John Stockton. He had the agility, meaning that if we want to do the hammer, y'all remember the hammer, go, and you slide and you go left, put him in the mix, y'all remember that? Yeah. He could slide left to right laterally with anybody.
Anybody.
He was 6'9" and had the movement of a point guard. So defensively, he didn't give a fuck about a switch. And he long, and guess what at the end? He was physical at the end of whatever he did. So if it was a rebound, it was post up, he would go get the rebound. If he had to contest, he would contest. He played like a Draymond, but more in control. And he wasn't as dirty, I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm saying? But he had tactics where he wouldn't use his elbow, he'd use his body. He would run into you and take the rebound. He would outwork you. Warren was like, could he play? Not only could he play in this league, but he would have been in problem because you had to be physical. You had to initiate physical contact with him to keep him off the boards. And guess what? He'd throw your motherfucking ass. So if you didn't have no strength, if you didn't have something where he respected, man, Warren was a whole problem. Man had 49 rebounds in the game, bro.
That was the record, 49? It'd have probably been more than that with the way
Will got the record, but bro was 6'9", getting 49 rebounds. You hear what I'm saying? That's an engine, bro. That's an engine. And niggas didn't want to play against him either. Dennis Rodman was not only one of the best defenders, but he was one of the most feared.
And you got to think about now, in today's game, all those long threes, those long rebounds, man, he'd have been chasing all that down. Man, I think he'd probably set the record. He probably caught Wilt.
Man, Worm was crazy, bro.
I love Worm. He's one of the greatest. I respect Worm. But Worm would be unplayable today. Because for the simple fact, he thrived on his physicality on defense. He thrived on his hustle and his ability to ignite the crowd. But with the shooting today at that position, with the versatility at that position, there's not, every power forward in the league can shoot a three now. Now, would he have made the adjustment? I don't know. Maybe he would have. But based on how he played his style to where the game is today, you practically be playing 4-on-1 on offense because the defense is so tough to play now. If you have Rodman on the court, he's going to be the help guy. You're going to use his man to be like, all right, we're going to help out on KD. We're going to help out on Brown. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the inability to shoot at the 4 or the 5 now, it's almost those players. You don't even see those players in today's game. I love his hustle, his rebounding and all that, but name me one player today, and the last one was Ben Wallace, to emulate that style of play that couldn't shoot a jumper today.
So I'm just going off of what I see. Kevon Looney, what's the Vanderbilt kid's name from the Lakers? These are two players that do everything Worm did, stayed in the dunker, didn't have a jump shot, maybe can hit a corner three. Worm hit a three every now and then just to let y'all know he can shoot. I'm talking about his impact on defense and his impact on offensive rebounding and then rebounding.
Well, yeah,
Kevon Looney, hold on, Kevon, am I saying his name right?
Kevon Looney, yes.
Kevon Looney is a stopper. He is in no, and then the kid that comes off the bench for him from Indiana, he's a better version, younger version of Kevon Looney. If you're big in that system, you pick and you roll. You don't even, and then when Draymond gets in the middle, you look for the lob. They've been doing this since Bogut. They've been doing this since the big head nigga, what's Pachulia? They've been doing this since JaVale. This is how they do when you're big in that system. So if you're telling me Rodman can come and do what Draymond do, initiate offense, he can dribble, initiate, dive to the basket, be in the dunker. Most importantly, get the fucking rebound and then lock down your best defender or slow down the post presence. Hell, he can play in this P.
Well, there's no post-up no more.
Ain't no post. Who don't post up?
Well, there's not a lot of post-up players in the league.
What I'm saying
right
is
now.
That presence in which Draymond plays, Dennis Rodman can do those same things.
Rodman will have to emulate more of a Draymond style to where he's initiating. He can do a dribble handoffs and make good passes. He would have to do more than just rebound and defense. And I believe he would have made the adjustment because he would have saw he's one of the highest IQ players this game has ever seen. So the Rodman that you've seen in the 90s, if you put him in this era, his game would change a little bit, where he'll probably be doing more screens and handoffs. He'll probably be a better passer. He'd probably been a better free throw shooter because he would have been working on those things because that's what the game needs right now. So would he have made the adjustment? Maybe. I believe so because he's such a high IQ player.
I don't know if today's time could take a player like Dennis Rodman.
That's what I'm saying.
Dennis Rodman smoked cigars. Dennis Rodman had open threesomes, foursomes, orgy parties. This is how he lives. He ride motorcycles to the... You ain't never seen a player come to the game in a fucking motorcycle, have you?
He married himself.
You hear what I'm saying? He might come. He might have blonde hair. He dresses up in dresses and shit. He was just different. But when he came and did his job, he was there to do his job, and he did his job at a high rate. He got 40, 50, 30, 20 rebounds in an aggressive, very physical league during the 90s and the early 2000s. I could not think that in a less physical league like we have today that he wouldn't thrive in today.
No, he didn't get 40 rebounds.
49 rebounds in the game, Pete.
Not in one game.
Is 34.
I know he didn't get 40. I know that.
Listen to me, bro. He had
34, yeah.
And then he would have back-to-back nights where he had 30 and then go up to Jason Williams when he had, that night him and Jason Williams had the fucking rebound off. Who remembers this? You remember this?
I remember that.
Bro, they had fucking almost 40 rebounds apiece. It was like the high 30s or some shit.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That level of not only, dog, if you get offensive rebound in today's game, bro, you know how many more fucking shots that is for a team?
We're in an era to where the guards are leading their teams in rebounds.
Bro, no way. And that's another thing. He actually wanted to rebound. His level of rebounding was like a Moses Malone. Bro, he wasn't rebounding under the basket. He was rebounding past the dunker, out past the charge spot, getting rebounds at the free throw line. Lord, that's when your guard's supposed to come back in. When you're getting rebounds that's by the bench and running out of bounds, bro, that's all you, and that's you wanting that. That's what I'm saying. He will outwork 80% of these months today, bro. That's another thing. His engine. Bro, you got to have an engine to guard this nigga. Bro, we played these motherfuckers. He played 43 minutes, dog. I think he ended up getting kicked out because he kicked the cameraman and shit. I go in the back, Joe. I'm tired as shit. Man, Lord on the motherfucking treadmill in combat boots up to his goddamn knees, running on a 15 incline at a 15, 17, talking to me. Got big fella tomorrow in Jersey. Got a, you know what I'm saying? He don't know what he's doing with. Damn, where what you doing? Just working out, you know what I'm saying? After games, he talking to me while he's running. I'm like, yo, this nigga's a fucking engine. I looked at him like on some mystique, bro. And I saw his superpower. He was sitting there telling me. One gave me the secret to getting around back-to-backs. Lift. One showed me how you tired on lift. Hey, go ahead after the games, get you a little light lift. He gave me that. And ever since I did that, I was better on the back-to-back, bro. I was crisper. I felt like on the back-to-back, you feeling tired, but I had a pop. You know what I'm saying after you get that lift? One gave me that. After running on the treadmill, the damn near treadmill was looking up. He was running on that motherfucker, pee like this.
What kind of boots?
Man, that motherfucker had some combat army boots up to here. Bro, I ain't never seen nothing like that, man. Shout to the Worm, yo. Straight up, 101, yo. I've never in my life seen nothing like that.
That's hilarious.
Fucking Worm.
Good story, guys.
He can play in this league, though, P. Right now.
If KG's right, and Rodman could indeed play in today's game, it would have to be because of his absolutely freakish athleticism. In 2025, we would still marvel at Dennis's ridiculous stamina and ability to stay in shape at a moment's notice. But in 1986, when he was picked in the second round of the NBA draft by the Pistons, nobody had seen an athlete quite like Dennis Rodman before. He had such an unbridled passion for rebounding and defense that it perplexed many players and fans alike in the late 80s. But in Detroit, he was the perfect player to enhance their rugged, slow-paced, defense-first style that got the Bad Boys 2 championship rings to close the decade out. Here's the leader of the Bad Boys, Isaiah Thomas, on Cedric Maxwell's podcast, describing his initial impressions of the 25-year-old rookie Rodman, as well as what made him so great for the Pistons during their heyday.
I remember you were telling me before when you first got Dennis Rodman, you like, Max, you said, this dude right here is a beast. And he is coming there. And I was like, come on, Isaiah, I can't be this guy. I can't be this. And sure enough, everything you said about him was remarkable on the defensive end.
I remember we played y'all in Hartford. Kent Benson. Remember Kent Benson?
Remember Kent Benson as he got 56 scored on it against Kevin McHale. I do remember that.
So we come out of the huddle and Larry, I think we up 1. And Larry look at me and Benson come to guard him. And he called me Cheesy. He goes, Cheesy. And he pointed right at Benson. You putting him on me? Of course he made the last basket we lose, right? Game's over. Boston wins. So the next year we playing y'all in Hartford again. And I'm like, I got something for y'all now. And that's when I started talking about Rodman. And the first time I met him, I had never seen an athlete like him. We had great athletes, but his athleticism was a little different. His speed was a little different. The way he rebounded, the way he ran, the way he defended. I love that guy.
You know what? I didn't think it was real, though, when I first saw him. And then I started watching him over, and everything was a repeat of the repeat. It was genuine. If he would dive, he'd get people involved. But now, I talked to Robert Parrish about this, too. He said, because he played with it in Chicago, he said, I've never played with anybody who was more different than they were on the court. And what I mean by that, he said Dennis Rodman was one of the nicest guys around, but his persona, he wanted to build a persona that was completely different once he walked out of that locker room.
And I think it all started when, if you remember, Max, they weren't paying guys in the league for rebounding.
Right, absolutely.
Right? And Rodman turned rebounding into a show. And he got paid for rebounding and defense. Remember, y'all had a guy, great Celtic there by the name of Paul Silas, right? Great offensive rebounder. But guys, they weren't getting paid. They weren't getting the max contracts. They weren't getting the dollars. Yeah. The scorers were getting the dollars. Rodman was one of the first guys who got paid for rebounding and defense. He would have 15 rebounds and 2 points. And back then, you weren't getting paid for that.
There's no question.
And so, in terms of his personality, right, it's like Rodman, and I'm sure Chief would tell you, right, off the court, you couldn't get 2 words out of him. He never really spoke. Now, he'll create a party, and then he'll just watch. But he never said anything, man. But I loved him as a teammate. He was dependable. He knew all his assignments. He was smart as hell in terms of defending people. And the way he talked about defending, I'll never forget, we were playing against Golden State, and that's when Otis Smith was playing against Golden State.
Yes.
With Golden State. And I remember you going over the scouting report in the locker room, and Chuck would always have you read your scouting report and who you were guarding. And so Dennis gives his report on Otis Smith, and he goes, well, he's right hand, left hand, and he does this and does that. And so everybody started laughing. What do you mean he's right hand, left hand? He right hand, left hand. He shoot his right hand, he shoot his left hand. And so Chuck goes, Dennis, is he ambidextrous? And Dennis goes, I don't know if he ambidextrous, but I know he right hand, left hand.
After 7 seasons with the Detroit Pistons to start his career, on October 1st, 1993, Dennis Rodman was traded to the San Antonio Spurs to play alongside the Admiral, David Robinson. In 2 years with the Spurs, Rodman won nearly 73% of the games he played in, helping San Antonio to the second best record in the entire NBA over that span. His teammate, David Robinson, was also named the league MVP in 1995, and the frontcourt duo would make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals in that second season. But That's kind of where the positive takeaways end. This is when Rodman started dyeing his hair, as he switched to blonde before his first game as a Spur in the 1993-94 season, later committing to bright colors like red, purple, and blue. He famously headbutted Stacey King and John Stockton, had a highly publicized affair with Madonna, threw a bag of ice at then-coach Bob Hill, and pushed back after being ejected from games by refusing to leave the court. The conflict was more dramatic in Rodman's second and last season with the Spurs. He clashed with the team's front office, faced multiple suspensions, took a leave of absence, injured his shoulder in a motorcycle crash, and played just 49 games during the season. It was in the playoffs, however, that Rodman's wildcard behavior became too much, like getting suspended for sitting on the floor with his shoes off during a timeout in a game against the Lakers. The Spurs would fall short against the Rockets in those 95 Western Conference Finals, prompting Rodman to criticize Coach Hill and his calls against Hakeem Olajuwon, who famously dominated the series. Specifically, Rodman called Hill a loser and even blasted then general manager Greg Popovich, saying their choices sucked. Thanks to all of this drama, Rodman's trade value was at an all-time low, which allowed the Chicago Bulls, who were absolutely desperate for a rebounder, to get the future Hall of Famer for Bulls backup center Will Perdue. Now, if you ask Rodman, he believes to this very day that the soon-to-be Coach Pop sent the worm to Chicago for a very specific reason, and it was not to become a champion. Here's Dennis himself with legendary broadcaster Joe Buck on a conspiracy theory that's not often mentioned.
Said he embraced me, but what's his name? Popovich.
He was a GM now.
He hated me. He hated my guts because I wasn't a Bible guy. They look at me like I'm the devil. Because everybody's so like, that'd be cool. That I started acting out again, right? Because I'm like, they don't want me here. But I'm saying, God damn, I said, oh my God, man. I said, am I the same guy who helped David Robinson get scoring title and MVP? Am I the same guy that sit there and averaged 19.3 rebounds a game for you? Am I the same guy we won 68 damn games? Am I that same guy right there? But you guys don't like me. I said, okay, great, trade me. So they traded me to the, of course, they traded me to the damn Bulls. I mean,
you can't say that. Trade me to the damn Bulls.
But that is so funny though, because I know why he did that. I know why Popovich did that to me. He think I'm gonna ruin this team. Still believe that to this day. He did that because he thought I was going to win that team.
So your theory is that Popovich traded you to ruin the Bulls?
Ruin the Bulls.
Oh, that's deep.
That's what I think about that all the time. When
he sees you on this team and you're ostracized and you're on your own. And to be fair, at that point, you were as popular on the court. Your popularity out here away from the game is as big or higher.
It was like that, but it's like I wasn't trying to take the spotlight from anybody. I didn't take the spotlight from anybody, but they didn't really embrace me at all.
Tell me though what that's like. You're 34 now.
34 years old.
You've got this other personality going. You're dating who's who, from Madonna to all these women, and now you're playing for this rival, really one of your first rivals in the NBA. Yeah, you're playing with Jordan. You're playing with Pippen.
But it was so cool how they got me. It's more like, so we go to Phil Jackson's house. It's Mike and Scotty's there. So Phil asked me, Dennis, you want to play for me? First thing I said, I don't give a damn. That's the first thing came to my mind. He said, okay, great, you're a Bull now. So that's how we came for the team.
Tell me about Phil Jackson.
Ooh, good guy.
Great coach, obviously. Was it Daly-esque? Was it Chuck Daly-esque? Or just different?
It was just free. He was just free spirit.
This is a guy who's reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Repair, and he's a free thinker, and now he got the freest of thinkers coming to his team.
It was cool, man, because we'd sit there, lay down, and just do the Zen thing. They bring people in, one of his boys and stuff like that. We'd sit there, lay down, and get our minds right, be free and stuff like that. And that was just so cool, because no one expected us. No one expected us to win 72 games. I don't think anyone expected us to win 60 games. maybe 50 games because they didn't think me, Mike, and Scotty would get along. Because
How was that? Was Michael into you being on the team?
he was into me because I just rebound, give him the ball. So I give him the ball, so he was into me because they needed a rebounder. So I'm also a perfect fit for that team. So we got along really well, though. And like I said, there was no bad time in Chicago. None.
96. Oh, that's great.
That city embraced me so well after, I said, the first couple of months. And then all of a sudden, overshadowing Michael, man. I'm more famous than Michael. And Michael said, oh my God, then when I went home and for Halloween, my kids, they was dressed up like Dennis Rodman.
That's awesome.
As Rodzilla discussed in the last clip, he came to Chicago and clicked immediately with MJ, Scotty, and the Bulls, leading to a then record 72-win season and the NBA title to go along with it. Michael Jordan would walk away with his fourth Finals MVP, leading the Bulls in scoring as always. But if you ask Sonics legend Shawn Kemp, who could have walked away with the MVP himself if the series went the other way, says the Worm was the biggest difference maker for Chicago that season. Here's the Rain Man with the All the Smoke crew describing what Dennis was doing that might not show up on the stat sheet, but was undoubtedly the reason the Bulls were able to take down Seattle in 6 games.
You finally break through, you sweep Dream and Clyde, beat Stockton and Malone in 7. You get to Mike, you're averaging 23 and 10 in the finals. What was that? We got GP side. We had GP a couple years ago. If they would have put him on MJ earlier, y'all would have won it.
Gary they had a couple little injuries he had, so they didn't want to exert him at first. They put Detlef on Michael Jordan, which
didn't go well.
Look at him. Detlef's a great player. He is, man. I don't think it was fair to him. All of a sudden, come on, you know what I'm saying? If anything, you pull somebody off the bench and pull on Michael Jordan, they could just waste fouls and be physical with him. But you come out there being soft with Michael, he's going to take advantage of you. And that's exactly what happened. But Michael wasn't the reason. He didn't beat us in the championship. He did not beat us, man. We was on his ass. He didn't beat us. Dennis Rodman's the one who beat us. We had no answer for his ass, man.
Really?
We had no answer for Dennis Rodman. Every time that they needed a second shot at something special or extra rebound or tip in, this motherfucker was flying and winking and
he said winking
and kissing and shit. Frustrating everybody on the team, man. And Dennis not even like that. He just do that shit to
right, just to fuck with you.
He just doing that shit. And he had every big man on my team just flustered, man.
What kind of shit would he do?
I'm gonna tell you, with Frank Bukowski, man, Dennis started wearing color contacts during the championship. He started wearing color contacts during the championship with some lip shit on, man. And he would be like he was trying to kiss Frank's arm and this shit, and then Frank just couldn't take it, man. It was just, the man in him just couldn't allow it.
I'd have lost it, too. I'd have lost it, too.
Dennis knew what buttons to push, man, and we needed Frank to rebound and shit, man. He got him all discombobulated, man. I'm just like, come on, man. So,
oh, my God.
Absolutely, man. Dennis Rodman.
How was his defense?
Man, his defense was good. He wasn't doing me.
No, you still did. You saw your numbers.
I'm just too big for Dennis.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit too big for Dennis. I don't think that's a fair matchup.
And agile, too.
But his defense was great, man. Like I said, he was just tipping the ball in, rebounding, high knee, and doing all this silly shit, man. All this shit that you hate to see.
And that they needed.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need.
After 3 years and 3 rings in Chicago, Dennis Rodman had absolutely nothing left to prove. He had won multiple titles for more than one team, was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and the reigning rebounding champion for the last 7 years. So what happens when a guy like that, who has a notorious reputation for off-court antics to begin with, is no longer motivated? 2 extremely weird seasons to end his career with the Lakers and Mavericks respectively. Somehow, despite only playing 23 games in LA and 12 games for the Mavs, both teams' marquee players, Shaq and Dirk Nowitzki, share eerily similar stories about the enigmatic Worm's pre- and post-game routine that has clearly stuck with both of them to this very day. Here's Shaq first, with Allen Iverson on the Big Podcast, and then Dirk on All the Smoke, discussing the circus that was Dennis Rodman's final 2 years as an NBA player.
I wanted to get into. So what would happen? AI and Shaq together.
Same thing I did with Penny. Same thing I did with Kobe. Same thing I did with D
I'm
Wade.
gonna throw that thing in there.
And when I get done, I'm gonna throw it right back.
I'm gonna wait for you to double.
That's it.
And once you try to close out, I'm running right by you. Layups all day long, or dunks in my early years.
All right, so let's build of your era. So not all time. You're at the 5. You're at the 1. Who are we putting at 2, 3, 4?
Kobe. I'm gonna take me out.
No, I actually want others. If we're building around you two.
Let me go first while he think about it. Him at the 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to go T-Mac at the 2. At the 3, I'm going to go.
Crazy.
Do we want a superstar team or do we want a regular team?
I want a superstar song.
At the 3, Big Dog Glenn Robinson.
Woo!
And at the 4, I'm going to go with, we need somebody crazy. I hate to say this name. Punk Dennis Rodman.
Yo.
Why is he Punk Dennis Rodman?
Hey, Dennis, I ain't say nothing.
Hey, Shaq, Kobe, Dennis on the same team. Who's the biggest superstar?
Superstar?
Yeah. Shaq, Kobe, and Dennis on the same team. Who's the biggest superstar?
You.
No.
Kobe?
Dennis Rodman.
I know that. I heard all the stories.
Bro.
I thought you was talking about just superstar. You told me some stories now.
This dude will come in. The meeting's at 5:30. You got to be there at 5:30, 45 minutes ago. He'll come in with 40 minutes on the clock, eating chicken and rice, not paying attention, doing it in the middle of the meeting, take a cold shower, not paying attention. We go out first, then he'll come out, give you 25 rebounds, stinking, put his clothes on, and go to the club and had the baddest woman I've ever seen in my life, surrounded him, hugging him,
That's the
kissing
reason you
him.
don't like him is because he had the baddest women.
No, I'm like, this stink. He smelled like garbage truck water. And he got models on him at the club. I was a party guy. I thought some party, I had some thing, but I ain't never seen what I seen with Dennis Rodman. I was actually mad. Me and Uncle Roman.
I mean. He's with
I was
Carmen
mad.
Electra.
I was mad. Not because he had the girl. This ain't even wash his ass.
Man.
He didn't.
High five.
Dennis Rodman had a brief stint here. What was that like?
That was wild. I'm a big Chicago Bulls fan in the 90s there, obviously. So he was one of my heroes. And then Cubes bought the team my second year, halfway through. And he's like, we need to make a splash here. We need to get on the map. This is a Cowboys town, and I want to bring the Mavericks back. I think I'm going to go sign Dennis Rodman. And we're like, are you serious? But he ended up doing it, and it was quite an experience. So he, every time, so as a team meeting, we usually meet with Nelly, obviously with 40 minutes before the game. So the first game, we have Dennis Rodman. We're all excited. He's starting. So 40-minute rolls around. He gets up. Nelly's about to start the film. Rodman gets up and goes take a shower. So he comes back. He didn't see the video. He doesn't know the coverages. So he just goes out and goes. Sometimes he squeezes. Sometimes he hedges a little bit. Sometimes he does nothing. So I was like, maybe he just did it one time. Second game, 40 minutes on the clock. He gets up and showers. So he missed all the pregame meetings before the game and had no idea about the coverages that we were doing and did his own thing. And I was like, that was just his routine. At 40 minutes before the game, he was showering. And then after the game, he would just put his own gear on and would go lift hard for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Wouldn't be with the team, would just be find his workout room, and he had his little workout coach, and then they were just lifting heavy for like an hour and a half after the game, and then he just put on a cowboy hat with these long feathers, didn't shower, and just walked right out the arena. And it was, and the media scrum would chasing him, and he's mumbling something. It was a comedy sideshow, and then it just wouldn't work. It wasn't working well. Those couple games he was here, and but it was definitely a splash. The arena was full, and he got kicked out of one game. He sat on the court for a while, and the refs didn't want to throw him out. It was a lot of stuff happened, which was a cool experience for me, I guess, as a young guy growing up. But it just basketball-wise, it just unfortunately didn't work.